Hello and welcome to another edition of HB Gaming's GameLINK, a series of YouTube videos talking about board games, unboxings, tabletop experiences and the like. We are unboxing another Kickstarter for you today. This is our deluxe copy of Rival Restaurants by Gap Closer Games. It did arrive a little while ago now. It has been out for a little bit. The reason we're doing a video now is because one, I haven't got around to it, and two, the expansion is currently on Kickstarter and is generating a lot of buzz as well. This is a 2 to 8 player game. It's a set collecting game. It's building restaurants. It's striving to be the best. A little bit Euro style gameplay, and I think it's meant to play in about 45 minutes to an hour depending on your player count. We're going to crack this open and I'm going to talk about the expansion, go through all the components as well as the deluxe components that are in this game. Very excited to see what's inside the box here, and we've got our trusty pocket knife, so let's get into it. Not a lot known about the actual gameplay for this one. Have read a bit of information about it, obviously have watched how to plays and things as well, but I think more so it's more about having a bit of a hospitality background. This appeals to me. I do like the fact that you've got to win by any means necessary, and that may mean stealing recipes and potentially stabbing other players in the back, and always the plastic goes on the floor. So the cartoon comic style artwork is pretty special. It's pretty amazing. Each of these individual chefs that you can play as has an individual restaurant, individual recipes, all that sort of stuff as well. So it's been, each player or character has a complete customizable experience as well. Yeah, there's lots and lots in this box. So as those of you who've watched our videos in the past will be aware, I'm a big fan of box art, not just on the outside but on the inside. Unfortunately there isn't any there, but that's okay, we can forgive it this time here. Alright, so we have a bit of a how to play. This looks like it's a quick start guide, so you can get up and running very quickly. Nice and printed, very simple, shows you where everything goes. Very quick, very handy setup guide. And then you have the full rule book, which is a bit more involved, and it's also got a little bit of a QR code with how to play and what's going on. I think it's a bit of a trend at the moment. A lot of the games coming through Kickstarter have QR codes on them as well. Again, the artwork is quite a high quality. Download the app to run the game. Obviously with the augmented reality of the app, acts as a timer for the round, adds comments and things. A la Sheriff of Nottingham. If you've ever played Sheriff of Nottingham, there is an app for that as well that not only acts as a timer for your negotiations with the sheriff, but also throws in insults and things on occasion as well, which is very cool. Now, player boards. Player boards, they are a gloss finish, almost like a satin, I guess, rather than a matte, which I kind of like. You get a player point count here, and as you gain points you get more and more abilities until you become the wiener of the game. Not the winner, the wiener, which is very appropriate for an American hot dog style stand. You've got French gourmet, you've got soul food, Korean food I should say, blank, so you can make your own restaurants, which is kind of cool, I like that. You've also got Italian, looks like there's Mexican, Chinese, there is Japanese, and we've got Vietnamese. Now with the expansion, obviously a whole new style of restaurants. I think there's Brazilian food in there as well. Yeah, Thai I think is one of the ones they're going to be working on as well down the track, so it's very exciting to see all the different cuisines that are available to play. And again, you could play as one restaurant, and then obviously that will change next time you play with different things. So stickers for your discard tray, so you can keep track of what goes where. Very handy. I do like it when you have to have a bit of assembly, it's kind of exciting. The game board, which we'll look at in a moment. You have your chef punch outs. So these are all your little characters that move around the board and represent the different chefs. So also, I think there's assistants as well. Maybe there's a lot more chefs in this version, other villains and things to play as. I know it's an 8-player game, but I think you've got quite a bit of choice. Punch outs. Let's punch out this Chinese guy or Japanese guy. He's got his little chopsticks there. Nice and thick, beautiful cartoon style, high quality components, which I really like. I mean, always better to have high quality components. Not high quality components. They're not high quality components, I suppose. The board is looking pretty schmicko. It's actually not as big as I would have thought, but that's okay. It's got a space for the centre bit with all the components. So there's one sort of tray that goes here with all the card draws, discards, etc. And then you've got different places where you can buy food from rival restaurants, discard piles, action cards, trash, that sort of stuff as well. Obviously, the more trash you make, the more it costs you to take it out, the more money you amass. Obviously, the more wealthy you become and the better your restaurant is. So the goal of the game is obviously get to that level 20 point mark and win the game. Yeah, nice and straightforward. A good even playing area that you can put in the middle of any sort of size table, really, which I quite like. And I believe the expansion has a few other components you can put in on the board as overlays, I think, as well, which is quite cool. Now, we've got a lot of stuff in this box. They've packed a lot into this game. Now, let's see. We have got, looks like some player aids here, so progression of each day of the game, or round, I should say. It looks like they are all the same, yes. So it just basically talks about what happens on a day-to-day basis on the round as it moves forward, how much each thing costs, what you can do to get multipliers up, all that sort of stuff, which is very cool. Then we have what looks like little individual spinners, and there are 2 to a sheet, so looks like we've got 8 of those. 2 to a sheet, as I said, and there looks like there's 2 sides, so they've got the dial itself and then a bit of a where to move indicator, and on the back it's got money ready to move, so you indicate obviously when your turn, when you're ready to move on to the next phase of your turn. In terms of, let's see if I can build one for you. I'll put that over there. These are pretty cool. Again, nice decent quality. Obviously they've thought about what it's going to look like for everyone else. I'm not entirely sure how it goes. It must go on the top, I guess. And there's going to be some extra bits and pieces in here. There's tokens aplenty. Oh my goodness, there's so much in the box here. Okay, we'll come back to that. So on here, in here we've got, looks like the standees for our little friends over there, along with the little black tokens. Nice quality, simple. They clip in there, I'm guessing. I'm trying to figure out how to do it. There we go. So you've got your mover all ready to go. A little chopstick man there. They're cool. I like the fact that they're almost like a little bulldog clip. You've got to pinch the bottom of it to get it open, which means you can swap them out. Obviously, once you've got them in there, you probably don't have to worry about it, unless you're changing different characters for the standees, because as I said, there was quite a bit, quite a few characters there. A lot more than 8, that is for sure. Now with these guys, let's see how we go here. Oh, that's nice. Nice snap. Now that's actually spin too, which is quite cool. Now you might remember I did a video earlier on this year for Fallout, which is a great game by Fantasy Flight, and they had similar push-in things for their player boards. However, theirs are really, really tight, and you really have to force, I almost had to get a hammer to bash them in. That is a nice, easy snap, and it still allows for a bit of a spin as well, which I really, really, I think is pretty damn cool. I really like that. Now, it looks like we've got different player markers for your player board in different colours, 8 different colours to choose from. They're literally just a little clip, slide it on, move your indicator up and down to indicate your level. Pretty straightforward. Nice range of colours though. I still think that game developers need to look at red and green, maybe some alternating colours because of players who may be colourblind. I know they're catering to the masses rather than the few, but I think it is something they could address on a global scale. But obviously, when you've got 8 colours to choose from and you want them to be quite distinct, that's something to consider, I suppose. But who knows? We'll see. Maybe they could have done like a pink or something instead of a red. I guess it's a similar sort of situation. More white clips. Look like they're just some extras things, maybe for a different part of the game board. Again, haven't gone through all the components in the rule book, so there's lots of things I'm not 100% on at this stage. Cards, we'll go through cards in a bit. We've got here a sand timer. So you can use a sand timer to time a certain aspect of each day, or you can use the app which will prompt you. So if you've got an iPad or something set up that's a nice big display, use that, because sometimes when everyone's in the heat of the moment doing all sorts of different things, this can be forgotten, as is the case with something like Pandemic Rapid Response, for example, where it's 2 minutes. This one I think is about the same time. It's literally just a sand timer. It's nice, obviously does the job, but I think, yeah, I would consider, I mean, the app has been developed specifically for the game, so I would consider using the app more so than that one, because it makes audio noises, obviously, and obviously gives an audio indication when the round is up. Then we have what looks like ingredients cards from the dairy, from Vegetable Land, from the fruit stand, from Carbtastic, from the Mystery Mart. Maybe we shouldn't go to the Mystery Mart, that sounds a bit dodgy. And the Chop Shop, which is obviously a butcher. So different ingredients cards allow for different recipes to be made. Now, I won't go through all of these. Let's have a look at Carbtastic, because, you know, you've got to try and load up on carbs every now and again. Basically, I think they've got stuff here that covers all of the 5 basic food groups, and then whatever the hell Mystery Mart is. So I'm going to be interested to see what that entails. We'll get rid of the plastic. Carbtastic has things like potatoes, bread, rice, more potatoes, bread, rice, some noodles there as well. What else have we got? Anything else? Flour, very important if you're making any cakes and desserts and things. Not just for cakes and desserts, obviously, but it looks like it's just those handful of cards. So yeah, different ingredients obviously mean different things. Let's put this just over here for 1 second, and we'll go through all the different cards. After all, why not? There's only a handful of ingredients per set, it looks like. But what that means is, obviously, if you've only got a certain, as you saw on the board, only a certain number of spots per ingredient or market stand, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a bidding war to get what you want, which I really like. A bit of healthy competition, a bit of take that action going on, which is nice too. Fruit stand gives you sweet fruit, beans as well. So there's also vegetable avocados, tomatoes, peppers. Peppers, I mean capsicums, for those of you who are not in the States. Yeah, so different elements of fruits and veggies. So jalapenos are in there as well, which is quite cool. And then if you go to Vegetable Land or Vegetable Stand, or whatever the case may be, whatever you want to call it, we'll see what vegetables you can choose from. Let's see what we've got in there. Onion is the first one that I see, which is probably very important for most of the recipes, particularly if you're using the French chef. You'll want to get onion in your hand, a lot of onion. Garlic as well, onion, carrots, scallions, leafy greens, broccoli and things like that as well. There's all sorts of things. Scallions, I think, is like your spring onions, for those of you, again, who are over this part of the world. Lots of different options there. Then we come into the Dairy King, as opposed to the Dairy Queen, for all of our international and interstate viewers. Not interstate, in the States, in Canada viewers. Egg from Dairy Queen. Then you've got butter, milk, cheese. Is there anything else in there? That's all pretty standard, all sort of dairy staples. Again, if you're French or even American to some point and you look at using a lot of cheese in your cooking, Dairy King is where you want to go, but your other competitors will know that and will be trying to stop you from getting those ingredients. Now, this is one that everyone's going to want, the Chop Shop. The Chop Shop is obviously a butcher, so providing you with proteins. Now in the Chop Shop, you've got poultry, beef, shellfish, fish, pork. So the shellfish is like your prawns, crab, things like that. Fish obviously is pretty straightforward. But yeah, it's interesting to see those ingredients and how they'll be used and incorporated into the different recipes that you develop as the game goes on. Mystery Mart. I'm intrigued. I'm not going to lie, this is going to be an interesting one. Let's see what we've got here at the Mystery Mart. We'll get rid of the plastic, it goes on the floor. So Mystery Mart has tofu for a start, and these ones look like they have special abilities as well. Chocolate in the Mystery Mart, which can be sold off for $500. That's some expensive chocolate. Tofu, and then we have alien goo, which can be used as any ingredient in a recipe as a substitute. Of course, why not? Alien goo, let's just put that in the game. Wine for gourmet recipes, a secret sauce. That could be anything, we'll keep that to ourselves. And then you've got, as I said, the wine as well, which is added to gourmet recipes, so you effectively wine matching and pairing, and it gives you extra ratings for your recipe, which is very, I like that element of the unknown, which is very cool. Okay, more cards now. We've got 2 more sets of cards to get through. Let's see what we've got here. So we've got 2 sets of cards here. It looks like one is your gourmet recipes, and this one is your different chef cards. So we'll crack these suckers open. The good thing is these ones look like they've got little pull tabs on them, which are hidden away on the side, which makes them a bit easier to open, and I love it. I love it, I love it. I don't have the ring tabs, it means I don't need this fella. Okay, so there is more than just the 1 deck of cards in here. I will separate them out and we'll have a look. So, basic recipe cards and gourmet recipe cards. So how gourmet are you? How gourmet will your restaurant be? Well, basic recipes start with something like this. Grilled cheese sandwich. It gives you the ingredient bread, butter and cheese. Pretty straightforward. Generates 1 garbage bag per unit. Obviously, the more your recipes, the more intricate your recipes get, the more garbage and trash they may produce. There is also blank cards, so you can make your own recipes, which I love. I love that you can customize the game to your liking. That is fantastic. Gourmet recipes. Now, again, you've got 3 blank ones to make your own gourmet recipes. So if you've got a favorite dish that is not featured in the game, have at it. You've also got other gourmet recipes, so these are worth obviously a lot of lobster bisque, which is French. Then you've got burritos, things like that as well, burrito, fish tacos, nachos supreme, not just nachos, nachos supreme, and I'll list you all the ingredients for those, which I think is cool. I just like the fact that you've got lots of different recipes to choose from, provided you have the ingredients to make them, which is very cool. Now let's have a look over this side. We've got some other cards here. The backs of these cards have chef on them, or chefs plural, but are they all chef cards? Well, let's find out. So we've got, we've got 2 different things here. We've got an action deck, which is where the take that comes in, and then the different chef cards. So we've got Angus Khan, which is our little friend over here. Angus Khan is the mysterious chef from, he's got a special action called Walk Away, not Walk Away, Walk Away. During the money and move step, Angus can kick out 1 chef who is at the same market as he is, those areas on the outside of the board. Doesn't work at the island or at the Mystery Mart. The affected chef must immediately choose a second location. So you've got abilities for each of the different chefs in the game, which is awesome. And there is quite a few. Looks like here lots more to choose from. I think a lot of these were stretch goals that were included in the game just to give you some more chefs. So instead of having a core set of 8 chefs, you've obviously got a lot more to choose from, which will change the dynamic every time you play, because all of the abilities on the cards will change, which is very awesome too. Adds that replayability factor, which not a lot of games have these days. You sort of play through a couple of times and then you sort of get a bit bored, unless you're introducing it to a new player. It sort of just defeats the purpose. So we've got here action cards, different things that will affect the game. Surveillance cameras. All chefs must show you all of their action cards at any time. 5-star reviews for your restaurant. You can go and rob another restaurant to steal half of their money, which is pretty unpleasant. Clairvoyance, special abilities, alien attack. Alien attack. Any chef, including yourself, who owns alien goo must immediately draw 2 garbage for each alien goo they have. So obviously, benefits to having alien goo because you can substitute it for anything, but also some penalties as well if you get caught. There's also a health inspector and a food inspector that will come around and cause damage as well for your enemies. Dinner and a show, there's little Kickstarter exclusive cards there which give you an indication of what's above the norm. That's really cool. I like that. Having the character abilities and then having the action cards are going to mix things up a little bit to really cause a bit of havoc for your competitors. Now, obviously you've got the box which keeps a few bits and pieces together. We also have the main island market. So these trays actually make up part of the game board as well. There is a trash bin, which looks like it's actually sealed. It's literally a garbage bin to place your garbage markers on. It's cool. Chuck it in the trash. Actually physically chuck it in the trash. And then this side you have an actual tray to keep all the components in. So you've got different markers for different tokens in the bottom part of the tray. Obviously the big part of the tray acts as a holder for your different ingredients cards. So your different decks of cards go in here. So for example, we'll pop in the potato cards or the grains in the top deck there, and then obviously they can get mixed around depending on what happens throughout the course of the game. The best part is all of these cards in this tray. Let me just pop this over here for 1 second. So your sweet fruit, your veg, your dairy, your poultry, and all of this mystery stuff, like your tofus and your chocolate and everything else, can all sit in this nice, neat little tray, all ready for play. How easy is that? Talk about an easy setup. I love it. So I'm going to put that back on there, keep them all together, which means they're not going to roll around or all that sort of stuff. I'm going to pop that just down here, out of the way, along with the trash bin. And then we're going to have a look at the other Kickstarter exclusive, which is the tokens. Now the tokens in the game were standard chipboard and they've already been pre-punched, which is a bit annoying because I do love to punch the tokens out. But with the Kickstarter exclusive upgrade, they've been changed over from punchboard to acrylics, which I really think is cool. And the garbage bins, or the garbage bags I should say, are little acrylic tokens that have almost a little bit of transparency to them. There's a banana skin on the bottom of it as well, which is cool. And because they're acrylic, they make a nice, neat little poker chip sort of thing, poker chip sort of sound. How cool is that? And when you finish, put the trash out in the bin so the food inspector doesn't hurt you. Then you've got money tokens. You've got, looks like hundreds and 300s in here. So it depends on how much money you're expected to make. And again, they're nice transparency. Oh, some of these are stuck together. That's not great. There we go. But again, just little plastic tokens. Make a nice noise. We like that. And then you've got your 300s there as well. And that's pretty much all there is to it in the box. There's lots of game here. Again, replayability factor I love. The fact that you can customize the board a little to your liking. The fact that you can make your own recipes I think is great. They've gone to the trouble of being able to give you the opportunity to make your own recipes. It would be nice as well if you could make your own action cards. I suppose you could always add those in on your own bat. I do like you can make the fact that you can make your own restaurant, draw your own picture for the restaurant, give yourself your own specializations, I guess. Yeah, a lot of good stuff in here, and I think depending on the player count, I think that's going to dictate how functional it is. I think even with 8 players though, there's not really a lot of downtime because everyone's sort of doing everything at once. So that's one of the reasons as well that I back this game, primarily because there isn't a lot of downtime and it's all about having a lot of fun and keeping the game moving. And I think once you've got a couple of plays under your belt, even if you have a larger group, you'll still keep that 45-minute, 50-minute playtime. which means you can get a couple of games in before you move on to something else. And that's fantastic. That's pretty much it. All we have for rival restaurants. There is the expansion on Kickstarter at the moment, Back for Seconds, which we have backed and we're looking forward to getting our hands on later in the year. At this stage, there's plenty more that we're going to be showcasing for you. We've got some other unboxings coming up. We've got more Kickstarter exclusives coming your way as well. We've also got a couple of videos talking about different games, top 10 lists that are going to be coming your way too. If you haven't hit that subscribe button in the bottom corner, please make sure you do so you can stay in touch and get notified whenever we post a new video. And also check out the store hbgaming.com.au for all the latest games at some great prices as well. Until then, if you have any questions about this game or anything else we've done, please comment in the comment section below. We'll get back to them when we have a chance. Otherwise, get back to the table, keep your game on, and may all your rolls be good ones. Thank you, and bye for now.